Receiving content, so that's good. And we are up and running. Need to get the link out there real quick. And almost there. Got the link. You're gonna have to tell me if there's a way to do this a different way that's better, because I have to hunt down the link every time.
What do you mean?
Like getting the link to the stream.
I don't, like, besides just posting the link?
Well, like getting it before I go live, because right now I'm live, we're live.
Yeah.
People are listening, but they don't have the link yet to watch us. But now we do.
Well, okay.
Or is that just normal?
Well, what do you mean? Like, I'm not understanding what your question.
I guess, is there a way to get the link to the video before?
Oh yeah, it is.
Before going live?
Yeah,
Okay.
what you do, yeah, when you are in your I'm trying to think, when you're in the creator studio. When you're in the creator studio and you go to live stream, it provides you the link of the video you have. So all you have to do is share that specific one, and then people will be able to like go to it. But if you're not online, they're gonna get an error message. So I don't know how you want to go about that. So yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, we'll play with that later. So, anyways, yeah, we are live, and welcome everybody. Today, you've got me, Dennis, admin of Last Day on Earth community, and my boy Excal over here, just kind of talking about the game and discussing what we see going on, what we think that's going on, and what we want to see in the future, and just some other fun along the way. Excal, do you want to say hi to everybody?
Hello everyone, it's your boy Excal.
So there's that. I guess we need to make sure, Brian, can you hear both of us and everything's good? I think Brian's here with us today. He's going to kind of watch the chat for us, help us out there. And we're about to get started as soon as we know that everything is good to go. Let's see. While we wait for him, how was your day today?
Today it was good.
It was a good day?
It was really good, yeah.
Well, good.
Yeah, just hectic, but good.
I understand hectic. This weekend has been pretty darn hectic. Between softball yesterday, selling popcorn with the Cub Scouts today, it has been crazy. All right, so it looks like Brian can hear us both. Let me bring up, we've got a little bit of an order of how we want to do things and kind of talk about things. And I guess, Excal, do you want to kick us off on the first one? Kind of putting you on the spot here, but just want to see if you want to bring up the first topic.
Alright, the first thing that we want to talk about is clear data and a few other glitches, and if it's considered cheating or not. So we might also touch on modding, you know, having accounts that are like completely modded with lots of money and other types of items that you really didn't grind for. So
well, I'll go ahead and say anything modding, I would definitely start off with saying that is totally cheating. Hands down, there's no question about that in my opinion. But then, you know, glitches, and we mentioned clear dating at the beginning of this, or clearing data. Is that, in your opinion, would you consider that a glitch, or would you consider that just an exploit that people are using?
well, clear data, I mean, there's mixed feelings in the community about it. So one of them is, you know, Kafir apparently has said in the past that it's okay to use it. But where I have a problem with is it is an exploit, obviously. I mean, you cannot deny that it's an exploit, because it allows you to get things that you normally will have to grind for or spend lots of time to get. So my thing on that is that I don't like it when people are like, when they advertise it. You know, it's not something that should be advertised. If you do it, that's on you. It has been said in the past that we shouldn't be doing it because your account is at risk to being lost or losing all your data, your files, and all that good stuff. I have noticed that there's a few ways to prevent those things to happen, but most of the community doesn't know how to prevent it, and therefore they lose their accounts. So to a certain extent, I don't think it should be advertised. That's my view on it. I mean, if you do it, that's on you. You, like I said, you run a risk, but that's on you.
Gotcha. Well, and I 100% agree on when you say if you do it, then that's on you. You know, that's if you take the warnings and see what is going on and still do it, you know, totally your fault if something were to happen. Now, to your point where they said that, you know, it's not technically cheating, but it's frowned upon, I've never seen an official answer from Kafir. We're just going, for my knowledge, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's based off of a person's comments, you know, that have been out there. But I've never seen an official statement from them on the subject. But I'd call it cheating. My opinion is that it is cheating. The reason I say that is because if you modify files from the game, which is what you're doing when you clear data, you are in essence changing the programming and getting an upper hand. Now, does that mean you have an upper hand against other people? No, you don't. That's not technically what cheating is, though. Cheating is manipulating the data, in my opinion, to get things that you normally wouldn't have. Another part of that you did hit on is the risk that's involved, and yes, you're absolutely right, there is a risk, and if you do it, that's on you. But if you delete that data on your local side and then try to sync your data to the server, but it's gone, and in the middle of that sync is when you deleted it, you've now corrupted the data on their servers, and there's nothing that they're going to do about it to fix that, because that's on you. Just like you said, I 100% agree. If you're going to do it, that's on you. There is risk involved, and you've got to be very careful about it if you're going to do it. And there are some ways to back up your data, but if the data on the server itself becomes corrupt, that local backup's not going to do you any good. So, but that's my opinion. Like I said, I think. Oh, go ahead.
No. I completely agree with you. So this is what I think. Okay, so. True, there's not a statement out there from Kafir saying, hey, clear data is fine, you know, or clear data is not technically cheating. There isn't a comment, there's not a statement from Kafir signed and hand delivered to all of the community. But, you know, sometimes the community tends to take people's words, or actually, let me rephrase that, YouTubers' words as gospel. Okay, I mean, that's just how it works. You know, sometimes that's not the case, but you can't really blame the community for someone else's mistake. Now, what you can do is prevent from things like that happening in the future. Now, what I'm thinking is that eventually Kafir is gonna patch that, which I'm hoping they do, and I'm sure they will as soon as they make their servers multiplayer. But until that happens, we're gonna see a lot of people clearing data, and that's something that's just not gonna go away, especially if you all of a sudden happen to have a really bad raid, or you're trying to grind for the chopper gas tank, because there's several people in the community that don't even have the gas tank, and they've been playing the game forever. So when they hear about this glitch, exploit / whatever you want to call it, of course they're gonna try it, especially if they have been trying for ages trying to get a specific item within the game. So my thing is that we can warn them we can talk about it and let them know that, hey, this is not right and they should be careful with it. But to a certain extent, I don't think we're going to be able to stop it until Kafir actually does something about it on their end.
Yeah, and I think, like you said, we're getting closer to that point, because you can already see more and more server-based interactions with what we're doing. I mean, it takes longer to load. We've got the chat function up. We've got all that going on, and that's all server-based. It's just a matter of time before, they take it to the next level, and it's all server-based, or at least, a majority of it. I'm never going to say that they're going to go 100% server-based, because there's going to have to be a little bit of local file transfer, but I think we're getting closer and closer to seeing that, and I think that's what you're seeing with a lot of people losing their accounts, which brings me to another topic that I think I don't think we have on the list, but I do want to mention, as far as like reaching out to support. If you clear data, they're gonna know, and I hate to say it, but it's a very good chance that they're not going to do anything about it. But if you're reaching out to support and saying that they're not getting back to you, I advise everybody to check their spam box or junk mail folder. I've been talking to several people, and I'll talk to Veronica or some of the other people at Kafir now that I have contact with, and they're like, well, we replied, and I'm like, well, they're saying that they didn't get anything, and it turns out that it just got stuck in the spam or junk box, and everybody's getting frustrated and upset, and it's there. And I'm not saying that's every time, but that's a lot of the times is the fact that it's sitting there just waiting to be read and just never got seen. Why that gets caught, and the one that says that the ticket's been closed is not caught, that's beyond me. But definitely always, before getting on the page and getting upset, check that junk mail box and see what's going on. But like I said, if you're doing a clear data trick and they see that and they notice that on your account, I'm willing to bet that they're not going to help you out and pull that data from backups. But that's just something I've observed and noticed. Did you have anything else on that subject?
No, not really. I mean, like I said, honestly, I don't think it's gonna stop anytime soon. The only way I see it ending is by Kafir actually doing something about it. But once again, their game is basically single player right now. And yes, even with Prey Survival, I know you don't play that game, but with Prey Survival, you cannot clear data. Like, your files get saved as immediately, like just instantaneously. As soon as you log in, anything you do within the game, as soon as you close it, even if you don't close the game, your files are constantly getting updated. Why? Because every bit of the game is multiplayer. It's on a server. So I cannot see Last Day getting to that point. I can see them having parts, just like you said, parts of it is going to be multiplayer. So I'm not entirely sure if they're going to be able to fix it in like completely, to a certain extent. But we will just have to see. Now, when you're talking about people clearing data, and if you do it, if Kafir can actually see it, I'm almost positive that they can. As soon as they get into your files, especially if you're sending them your ID and all that good stuff, anything that you do in the game is going to get saved. It might not get saved on a server, but it is on a local file, and they can actually, and those files do get saved to your Gmail account. So if you have anything saved on your email, Gmail account, whatever it is that it's getting saved on, they can see it. So I'm sure that if they see that you have done that multiple times, more than likely they're not going to help you with your account. So I would advise not to do it. Once again, all we can do is just advise at this point. But I don't see people stop doing it anytime soon.
Yeah, well, and like you said, we aren't part of Kafir. We don't work for them. We're just fans that play the games and enjoy it. But all we can do is speculate on whether or not they're going to help. But from what I've seen in my experience with it, it seems like they're pretty set on, if you're not abiding by the rules and you're trying to manipulate data, there's really no reason for them to go out of their way to try and help you out. There was something else I was going to touch on after what you said, but I can't remember what it is now for the life of me. It might come back to me later. What do you feel about, like, part of this is glitches. What about like the wall trick, or like in the bunker, what is it, level 2, where you can actually hit through the fence and hit that frenzy giant with like a hammer or a stop sign. How do you feel about those types of glitches and exploits?
Can you repeat that one more time?
Yeah, so in like the wall trick, or also in and yeah, so yeah, sorry, in chat they're talking about the wall trick and speed shooting, and another one that is considered a glitch. I don't know if it really is or not, but in the bunker where that frenzy giant is in that fenced-in area, and you can like poke him with a stop sign through the fence. You don't even have to open it, and he doesn't react or do anything. How do you feel about those type of bugs slash exploits? Would you call that cheating, I guess?
Well, okay, so Kefir knows about them. Those glitches have been in the game forever, and as soon as the speed shooting or the speed, like the human super speed, and all those type of glitches, all with the auto and the crouch, they patched all those. Why would they leave the other ones alone? And they're gonna patch some. Like they're like very selective when it comes down to particular exploits. Some exploits take a little bit of skill, especially now, because they kind of, I don't want to say they patched the wall trick, because they didn't, but they made it a little bit harder. If you knew how to do the wall glitch, it's they nerfed it a little bit. No, they buffed it. They nerfed it. Anyway, it's harder to be able to do it. You have to time your hits correctly, otherwise you're pretty much gonna lose health. It all depends. I'm not entirely sure how I feel about the one where on level 2 where you can basically kill the frenzy giant with the road sign. That's actually, I don't understand why that's still there. I'm sure it's an easy patch. They just left it there for the memes. I'm not entirely sure. I mean, I can't say that it's cheating if Kefir is allowing it, you know? So, I have mixed feelings about that.
Yeah, well,
but the wall trick does take some skill to be able to do. So, I mean, not everybody that starts playing the game knows how to do it. And even if they do try to do it, I can promise you this, they're gonna lose their life. They're gonna get killed at least a couple times before they can get it going. And at the beginning stages of learning how to do the wall trick, you are so gonna take your time. So it's gonna take you forever to clear out the what is it called, some of the bunker levels, if that's the route that you're trying to take, before you actually become a pro at the wall trick. Now, if you don't have the device to actually do it too, because if you have an older device that doesn't have the ability to process the graphics at a certain speed, you're also gonna have trouble. You're gonna be lagging like crazy, you're gonna get hit, and you're not even gonna know what to do. So more than likely, you're probably gonna die if you have a older device. Now, that's what I mean. Like, it's so weird. I mean, they leave it in there because they know what they're doing. They know for sure what they're doing. So I think they're just memeing us, to be honest, to a certain extent.
Well, and I agree. I think, I don't, I've thought about it too. Like, is it something that just at this point is not very important to them to spend the time into it? Like, it's just such a small detail, or is it intentionally there? That's another thing. They could just totally be intentional and they mean for it to say. I don't know. I mean, like you said, the wall trick, it would be, I would think, especially the sign through the fence, I would think that would be an easy fix. That wouldn't take much time. But I'm no programmer. I don't know how that works. In fact, that was my least favorite subject in school. So it's just too tedious. But anyways, I think we got a couple more people. We got Fabio in here and Heartless Gamer. So hi to you guys. They're in the chat talking. But as far as like the wall trick, I don't. I've gone back and forth, and after listening to what you just said, I don't I wouldn't consider it, I guess, cheating, because it does require some skill. I mean, anybody that's watched my streams of the farm, I tried to do it one night. It didn't go very well. So it was definitely a learning experience. I can't do it on my phone. I have to use my PC to do it. So, anyways, I think that's about all I've got on the glitches, unless you've got something else.
Nah, I'm good for now.
All right. And then what do you love or hate about the game? I do want to start this one off real quick if I could. As far as what I love about this game, I absolutely love how... One, I love the difficulty. Honestly, if it was easy, I don't think people would keep playing it. I think it would just die down. I also like how intricate it is. There's a lot of aspects of this game that, yeah, I mean, not all of them are finished being developed yet, or we don't know what to expect out of all of them. But there's, I mean, between how to do different zones and then the bunker, and I mean, even for a game that's not technically out of beta phase, it's got a lot going for it and a whole lot of potential that I don't think people realize just looking at the game and playing the game. I think a lot of people see this game as, it's been out for a year, why isn't it more progressed? But if you look at everything that they are doing as a company behind the scenes and every event that we've done so far, there's things that they've tested in events that we're not seeing yet. They're waiting for the right time for it to come out. And I'm excited about what's to come. And what we haven't seen yet and what's coming out of the gate. But what do I hate about this game? I hate the clear data trick. I hate the clear data trick, and I hate how easy it is for people to try and exploit the game. It really makes it difficult, and then I hate the anger and disdain from people when they do use that. And I'm not saying everybody that complains about not being able to load the game has been using the clear data trick, but I'm willing to bet a good majority of them have, and that's the reason that their account is gone. And I just, as an administrator, and I know my moderators feel it too, that frustrates us a lot to see that on the page when people are just ticked off, really. So, but that's about what I've got. Oh, we got AFNF Gaming with us too.
Yeah. It seems that clear. We keep going back to clear data, but the thing is that, okay, so the game, I mean, it has a lot of potential. Obviously, it's still in beta, and it doesn't seem like it's gonna come out of the beta for a long time. That's my prediction. I know a lot of people are saying that as soon as we hit 2.0, the game is gonna come out of beta and all that good stuff. So I highly doubt that's gonna happen. I really do highly doubt that's gonna happen. As far as the game goes, I mean, I like that it's grindy. I like it, but after a while, you grind so much, especially new players. You grind, you get this, you get that, and then you get to a certain point within the game, and you're like, I've had enough. I've had enough of this. I've had enough of that. I don't go farming as much. I don't do floppy disks runs anymore, hard mode or bunker runs or whatever. At first, all of that is really like, it's entertaining, for a few days, for a couple weeks. Then after you do it a lot, it just gets to the point that it's so freaking repetitive, and everything is the same. It doesn't change. Now with the farm update, they did make a few changes. The farm's not the same every time you go there, but the difficulty level is just about the same every single time you visit it. So after a while, you get to the point when you're like, I mean, it was good for a little while, but now what? You get a chopper, you already have the chopper. You get level 3 walls, what's next? Grinding for level 4 walls? And I mean, it just gets repetitive. And one thing that I think that would help the game, for example, with the last update, they added the military pass for new accounts, which was great. I think that was a really good move for Kafir, especially for new players that are just now getting into the game. they want them to catch up. They want them to be at the same speed we are, because they're about to make so many changes, and they want them to be ready for that, which is great. But the rewards they're getting, it's incredible that some of the players that have been here for a year or a little bit over a year are so salty about it. It's because they didn't get that chance. They didn't get that specific reward system. You know, even if they spent a few dollars here and there. As for me, you know, talking from experience, I've spent a few dollars here and there, and I have never gotten anything close to what the military pass is offering for some of the players right now. So it is a little bit upsetting, but I get why they do that. I just wish they would implement that form of reward system, even if we have to spend a couple of dollars, to the veteran players. If they can do that, I'm sure they would get a whole lot more people come into the game and actually devoting more time into farming just to get those rewards. But for now, since we don't have that for the veteran players, we're like, you know, what's next? We're just waiting for the next update. And sometimes updates take not a week, not 2 weeks, not 3 weeks, sometimes even a month or more before we get something exciting. Like the convoy event, we got it. It was fun for that, 15 minutes? And then after that we were done with it. So they have to think about the veteran players. We can't just go out and farm every single day and expect us to be happy.
Yeah,
that's my take on that.
I agree, and you touched on what was it you touched on? You touched on a lot, actually. There was a you said, all right, so yes, the new players get the option to buy the military pass. And I honestly think the military pass is one of the best things that they have done, other than the fact that there are players that feel, like you said, they feel like they are missing out on that they didn't get the chance to get that. And a lot of that has to do with them, I think, realizing, you know, over time, the balance, and that there needs to be a little bit better help to get people caught up. But at the same time, that military pass, since the Mulan update, the Chinese New Year update, they should have had a quest line for that chopper since the beginning. I am upset that they make it cost money. That chopper is such a big deal for so many people. That should not have been a money quest line. The items, sure, whatever, pay some money, get a bunch of stuff, that's fine, you know, after completing some quests. But the chopper itself being as pivotal and important as it is, I don't think that should have been something that you have to pay to grind for. And when I say grind, I mean grind through the missions. Again, I am glad that they did a mission-based, you know, you're going to get it if you do all the things, but it shouldn't have been a pay-for item, in my opinion. So, I don't know if you agree or not with that, but that's kind of how I feel about it.
I mean, they gotta make their money somehow, you know. I mean, they can make it through advertisements and all that. We don't want a game that's gonna have advertisements every time you open the bunker, every time you go to a zone. Having the mystery box is just enough for us to, you know, for advertisement wise. So I get it, you know. If they need us to spend $1 here, $1 there, the military pass takes 30 days to complete if you do it efficiently. After that, I don't know what happens because I haven't completed it yet, and I haven't even gotten to those, you know, to 30 days or whatever, to see what happens if you don't complete it. But I mean, I get it. They need to make money, and that's, I mean, that's a company, you know. Companies need you work for, you know, for a very lucrative company, so you know what I'm talking about. And I get it. Okay, so I don't mind spending $5 every month. Let's say that's the goal or whatever. I don't mind doing that. If it means that it's gonna give me rewards for me actually playing the game, yeah, I'll go for it. I'll do it. But what I'm trying to say is, implement it for everyone, not just the beginner players, you know. I know where you're coming from. You don't want to spend money for the, like, there's a lot of people that might not want to spend money on a game that says, hey, this is a free game, free download, but then again, it does warn you that it has in-app purchases. Now, you don't have to get the military pass. You can get everything else. It's just gonna take you a whole lot longer. It's gonna take some real grinding to be able to complete certain things. But once again, $5 for what the military pass is offering. Once again, I do not mind spending $5 every month.
Well, and
I can see that.
Let me back up for a second. I didn't mean as in being upset that it costs money. I'm okay with things costing money, and they need, this is their job, and that's what irritates me too about when people get upset saying that support and content. Of course, they're trying to get back with people. This is their job. This is how they pay their light bill and their food. And maybe their support can use some work. I'm not arguing that point because there are so many people that have issues with it. But as far as buying items, yes, absolutely have items in the store that cost money. However, the chopper itself, that tank, that item in a random box, I'm all for it. But I think that they should have put in the game a quest line for that important item. If it's going to be a quote-unquote free-to-play game, make it to where you know how to get the items that are that important instead of just giving it up to total chance, or if you spend money you'll know that you'll get it from the grind. That's what irks me about it. By all means, they have the rooms, they have the resources, they have all the other stuff, and that's fine. It's just this particular item that I had the problem with. But that's just my opinion.
Alright, so I get where you're coming, I get where you're coming from with that, but the thing is that we know where to get the gas tank, and they have implemented other ways to get the gas tank, and like, there's so many players saying, hey, I've been playing this game for a month, for 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 months, how many ever months it took them to get the gas tank, or if they still don't have it. It took me a month and a half to get the gas tank. It might have been luck, or it might have been because I was actually grinding the game. I was getting on every single day. This game requires for you to get every single day on, especially at the beginning. If you're not opening that bunker every 2 days, your chances of getting the gas tank are completely reduced. So you have to be on the grind to be able to do that. If you don't complete the bunker to exactly when it resets, you miss an opportunity. And this is what I'm thinking, that a lot of people out there, they're just grinding the game aimlessly and like not trying to focus on the specific events, or actually not events but locations and zones that provide you with the gas tank. I've gotten a gas tank out of a raid too, and I've gotten the gas tank out of the farm. So I think I have like 8 gas tanks saved up in my base right now. I know I'm not trying to crap on all those players that are grinding the game trying to get the gas tank, but if you're not opening that bunker every 2 days, you're decreasing your chances. So yes, you can get the chopper, but yes, you have to put in the work. With the military pass, you still have to put in the work. The tasks that they give you get hard really quick. I mean real quick. You have to clear the farm, you have to do this and that, and that's like at day 10 or day 8 or 7 or something like that. I haven't looked at it again, but if you've been playing the game for 7 days, you don't have the resources to clear the farm.
No.
So exactly, that's what I'm saying. So the military pass, you were paying money, but you still have to grind. In order to get weapons to clear the farm, you're gonna have to do bunker. You're gonna have to clear bunker, and there goes your chance of getting the chopper gas tank too, because you're gonna get tickets, and I'm sure you're gonna have to open the crates. So more than likely, you're probably gonna get 2 gas tanks as much as you're gonna be grinding to complete the military pass, which that's teaching the player that, hey, you do need to grind the game for certain specific things if you really want them. You can't just be a casual player and say, hey, I can't find the gas tank, because in that case, Of course you're not gonna find the gas tank. You're reducing your chances of getting it because you're not getting on every day or every 2 days when the bunker resets or when the farm resets.
That's why it took me so long personally, because I mean, there for the longest time I was spending more time on the actual group page, and not on the game, to where that it took me, I don't know how many, I'm not even going to sit here and guess. It took me a long time to get it though, because like you said, casual player, not playing every day, not focusing on where to go and what to do. I didn't do the bunker hardly at all, maybe once a week if that. So yeah, I can see that point. So I guess pointless aspects of the game, and we have an example here, the bunker code, which I do agree is a pretty pointless part of the game and just causes people to either waste energy if they forget or come to the page, which I mean gives us a reason to have the page and the picture at the top. But what other things do you think are kind of pointless in the game at this point, or things that you think we could do without?
Some of the raider tasks, I feel like the raider task could be reworked, and I've seen a post where Cloud actually has been thinking about reworking the raiders tasks, but nothing has been done to this date. There's some raiders tasks that require you to make some spike traps and chests, and sometimes a player might be completely maxed out on all these things and they still want you to make them, and then you have to store them away or just delete them, which is counterproductive, because you're farming to get things done. If you're a new player, that it makes sense to for those tasks to be tailored to you. But when a player that has been playing for several months and is maxed out on chests or spike traps, I mean, it's just insane to just keep storing them for no purpose, for no reason. I wish they would rethink that and maybe tailor each task to the level of each player. Or even if you've been like raiding for, let's say you have 100 reputation or 50 reputation, to switch up the tasks, to delete some of the ones that you were getting at the beginning, because more than likely you're gonna be a new player when you're at reputation 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 1 through 50. You're probably going to be a new player, so the task for creating crafting chests and spikes traps are going to make sense. So leave those within that reputation range, but as soon as you break that threshold, to change them up a bit, to tailor them to something more, something that's actually going to benefit the player, not something that's going to harm them, because losing resources is just a waste, especially if you're having the horde coming through your base and you have like a level 1 or level 2 wall protecting just the auto wall. That you could use those resources in those particular areas, but since you decided to use them for chests or spike traps, you're not able to use those resources. It makes you go out again. So I don't know if they're doing that on purpose, or they're not thinking about every single player. They're just thinking about, hey, new players are gonna need to have this and that. So those are pointless from my perspective.
Yeah, well, and I agree with you on the fact that they need to be more tailored, I guess, to the player, to the level and the experience they have, because like you said, going out getting the supplies again to make the stuff that you already have, it doesn't work out very well. In my opinion, as far as what's useless in the game, other than the bunker code, I don't know what else really I would call useless in this game. I mean, there for a little bit the bow and arrow was again, but it was way overpowered at first. But now with these new mods, I haven't used any mods on the bow and arrow yet. I don't know what I would say is useless outside of what you touched on. To be just totally honest with you, I mean the ATV gas tank, but we'll hopefully have a use for that soon. I don't know, because I mean I like the recycler. I like the what else did we see recently? Oh, you know what? The gun stand. That's useless. This thing right here, the weapon stand, is totally useless, and the fact that you can put batteries in there, I honestly think they just did that so that people wouldn't have as many batteries to recycle when the recycler came out. But other than that, though, no, I think everything has its place and is useful and does its thing. And I wouldn't get rid of anything else. So I think our next subject was weapons in Last Day on Earth, and we left that kind of really open and vague. I guess I'll kind of start on this one with the weapons aspect. I think that there's not really a good balance yet with some of the weapons. Like I said a minute ago, the bow and arrow, I think, should really have, depending on the enemy, a different effect. Obviously, with a turret, it shouldn't do much damage at all. Zombies with body armor, it shouldn't do much damage. But like the runners and stuff like that in the zones probably should do a little bit more damage than what it does. I also think that when they nerfed it, that was good. When they brought the damage from it down, that was good. But then you've got the VSS, which on an AI character, if you're not paying very close attention, that VSS is deadly, and you won't even notice that you're dead until you're dead. Like, you need to keep your health high, and they won't even be on your map yet, and all of a sudden you're getting pegged with bullets. So I do think it's a little extreme for the VSS. I think that the missing that they added, and the crits and everything like that, I think those are awesome. I'm glad that they lowered the chance of a miss, because let's be honest, if I'm 2 feet from somebody and I've got my M16 going full blast, I'm not going to miss most of those shots. Probably still going to miss some because those things have a kick, but I'm not going to miss them all. So I guess that's kind of where I sit with it. As far as melee, I love the new modifications for the melee weapons. I absolutely love what they've done with the modification table. I just hate how hard it is to get blueprints sometimes, and there's a lot of grinding to get the right blueprints, and without knowing exactly what each of them does up ahead, you know, without learning it, it kind of makes it hard to pick and choose what you want to do now versus later. So, but that's kind of how I feel about the weapons. And the hammer's probably the worst weapon in the whole game. I don't even know why they made it a weapon, but what about you?
Well, hammers is in hold on.
All right. Well, while you're so, oh, go ahead. You're back.
Yeah. Hammers are more of a resource right now than anything else. You can use them for fixing bridges, and some of the modifications that you need for certain weapons require a hammer. Also, some of the workbenches require a hammer. So, I mean, I don't think it's viewed as a weapon. I view it more as a resource, to be honest, because I don't even use it at all. As a weapon, yeah, it sucks, but for other things, I mean, I guess it makes sense to a certain extent. Some of the things that you were talking about, I mean, the misses and all that, I mean, it's good. I mean, it adds a different perspective to the game, I guess. But what I don't like is that some of the items that you have to be able to get to be able to modify weapons, like the resources, for example, factory weapon parts or carbon composite. Those things, if you're not in the game, if you're not on the game every hour to put a gun, and this is at a chance of getting those items. This is not a confirmative thing where hey, if you put in a weapon, a particular weapon, you're gonna get carbon composite or factory weapon parts. You have to, it's all, it's a chance that you may get it, but you have to be on every single hour, because apparently it doesn't make sense to have two recyclers working at the same time. This is not possible. I guess that would be too OP. I mean, I guess it would be OP with the electronic circuits, but when it comes down to weapon parts, I mean, you have to grind for the blueprint. If you're not willing to spend money, you gotta grind for the blueprint. Now that you found your blueprint, you gotta grind to get the right resources to be able to craft that mod. But guess what? It takes 10 factory weapon parts, so that if you're getting on a day to play, like let's say you get on every day for 1 hour, so it'll take you 10 days to get 10 factory weapon parts, and let's say another 10 days to get carbon composite, and that's if you're lucky enough to be able to get those items. If you're not at a high level within your gunsmith bench, or not gunsmith bench, your recycler with the weapons category, you're not gonna be able to get these things unless you recycle a full durability weapon. Then you'll get a higher chance of some of those things. But then again, it takes so freaking long to be able to do that. So I don't get why would they make it so hard. I mean, I get it, make it hard, but not. I mean, that's insane. You gotta grind for the blueprint and then grind for every single particular resource, because it doesn't only take those two resources. It takes glue, it takes it all depends on what kind of mod you're gonna be crafting. So I asked lenses. Oh, don't even let me get you. Don't even get me started on lenses. Lenses are so freaking hard to get if you don't have cameras to be able to recycle. And I have seen people recycle 20 cameras and get one lens, and they're maxed out on electronics in their recycler. That makes no sense. No sense whatsoever.
No, I agree. And back when the recycler first came out and it was totally broken, and everybody was getting, like, I don't know, out of 20 batteries you get like 18 copper. I mean, that was ridiculous, and I wish I'd have at that time recycled more batteries, to be totally honest with you. But I totally agree that it takes forever to get some of that stuff, and then you need like 20 of them for something. But the only thing I can really compare that to is a game that I've started tinkering with again, called Battle Pirates. And if anybody has played Battle Pirates, dude, that game is intense. It takes a month and a half sometimes to make a fleet of ships to go out and fight other people, and by the time it's done, it's obsolete. So, you know, that's what I play with and you know, compare it to, but it's pretty intense. It really is, and we'll just have to see what they do with it, I guess. But sorry, I had to turn, for everybody watching, I had to turn off my video feed there. I had to pee, so you know, no pee posts on the page. No pee posts on the videos. Anyways, let's see, where did I've lost my list of things. Here it is. Do YouTube tutorials ruin the game? Alright, so listen, you have done YouTube a lot more than I have, and a lot longer than I have, so what is your opinion on YouTube tutorials, and do you think that they ruin the game?
I don't think they do. There's a lot of people that if they would have known a few things, they would have gone about it a little bit different. If I would have known so many things before I started playing the game, I would have so much stuff right now. Sometimes it's not about, you know, outsmarting the game, it's just about just playing efficiently. And, you know, if you're a new player, more than likely you're gonna miss a lot, and you don't want to miss important things. So when it comes down to a few you know, video tutorials, I mean, I think they add, I mean, I just think we need them. I really do think we need them.
Well, I'll say, as far as YouTube tutorials are concerned, they are needed, And if you want to use them, go for it. And if you don't, just don't use them. I mean, that's what it comes down to, in my opinion. To each his or her own. Some people like seeing the area before they go to it, and some people would rather just experience it for the first time themselves. And both ways are right. There is no wrong there. And if you don't want the area, you know, teased or ruined or whatever word you want to use for it, you know, or enlightened, you know, you don't want to know what's going on, but ahead of time, just don't go to YouTube and look up Last Day on Earth. It's a simple concept, and in my opinion. So yeah, I agree. I think they're needed, especially for those that want to use them. And if you don't want to use them, just don't. It's an easy math problem to me. So let's check in the chat real quick because they're talking. And Brian's doing a good job of watching over that. So what about the farm? Is it worth it? And any kind of hints, tips? So anybody that's been watching my streams the last couple of days or weeks, I'm not very good at the farm, and it's because I'm not very patient, and I'm not willing to run out and come back in. So that's kind of my thing. I give Excal a hard time, but when it comes down to it, he's very efficient and doesn't die much, if at all, in the farm. And he's able to use it with very few resources and without using many weapons. I tend to be a little bit more in its face and go in and just balls to the wall and John Wick the thing. So I don't have any good advice other than bring in some guns and melee weapons and just take your time. Sneak up on as many as you can, you know, just like anywhere else. But do you have any specifics? Because like I said, you're better at it than I am by far. Is there any advice in particular that you would give out to people when they try to do the farm?
Well, oh, I mean, yeah, I am sorry. It took me a second. The thing is, I mean, like, it's hard to give tips. You would have to watch people to, you know, play the farm to be able to see what they're doing. That would be the best way to actually do it. Telling you what to do, I mean, it's one thing, but it's just so much easier to see someone do it, and then maybe you can mimic some of the things that they're doing, and to help you out when you're actually doing it. The thing about the farm though is that you don't get the same the same scenario every single time you go. So it's hard to say, hey, do this or do that, because sometimes you're gonna get scenarios where you can't sneak up on the savage giants, or you can't sneak up on certain things, or there's gonna be raiders that are just gonna appear out of nowhere. So it's kind of hard to say, hey, you need to do this, you need to do that. It'll be best to just watch people do it. And I mean, if you guys want to watch that, I have a few videos. I think I don't know. I don't even know if I have the farm. No, I do not. On my Twitch channel, I do actually, you know, do farm runs and all that. So, I mean, if you guys are interested, after the stream, I can put a link to the to my Twitch channel, but that'll be at the end. For now, I mean, all I can say is just watch other people, you know, clear the farm and see what works for you. So
yeah, it's also going to depend on what you have as well. Not everybody's going to have the same weapons or same, you know, items that you do. I do think that, you know, even though each time it seems to be a little bit different, I think that there is also a sense of, what am I trying to say here? It's always a little bit similar, I guess. They have, like, I think like a set 4 or 5 different scenarios, in my opinion. And maybe I'm totally wrong. Maybe it is completely random each time, but I think that there's kind of a set, you know, this time here's where the raiders are going to be, and they're going to take this path around the map. And then next time you go, it's going to be this, and it's already set in stone. It's just which scenario do you get spawned into. Again, I could be totally wrong on that, but it seems like there's a pattern to it. But what about floppy disks? I've only done one floppy disk personally. The grind of the hard mode of Bunker to me, for me at this point, and what I have in this game is not worth it. Oh shoot, I'm getting attacked in my game. Sorry. If you haven't noticed, Excal, I'm just kind of tinkering around in the background on mine so people have something to watch.
Yeah. I'm doing the same thing.
Gotcha.
Though I'm not streaming, but still.
Yeah, well, so
yeah,
I don't know. To me, like I said, I don't even have my acid bath finished. In fact, I'm walking past it right now. This is where I'm at with my acid bath. I'm not even close to done. I need another electronic circuit, and I need another 16 steel plates and 5 more air filters before I have it done. I have the rest of the stuff, but so I have not focused on the acid bath. The one that I did get, or not the acid bath, but the floppies. The one that I did get, yeah, the loot was nice in it. But for me, it's not worth the amount of guns that it took to get to that point. So, what are your feelings on it? Like, how do you do floppies a lot, or is that kind of just a if you happen to get to that point?
Well, I used to do floppies. Can you hear me? First of all.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, yeah. So I used to do floppies, but like a lot because I mean, to me, it's worth it because I know how to clear the bunker efficiently, so I don't spend that many weapons to clear it out. I mean, I do spend like a lot of melee weapons, but guns and stuff like that, nah, I'm good. So I mean, to me, it's totally worth it. But once again, the repetitiveness. I mean, it's just it gets to the point when you're like, you know, I've done this a lot. I'm good now. Because if I'm gonna do bunker, I've seen a lot of players just skip normal mode and go directly into hard mode. But I'm that type of player that if I go to bunker, I'm gonna clear regular mode and I'm gonna clear hard mode. So it's just, I mean, it's not worth it to me. I'm not willing to spend an hour trying to do that, you know. So I mean, I'm gonna get a lot of loot out of it because I'm gonna open every single crate, and then after that, I'm gonna go open a floppy disk. But I just get to the point where I'm like, I'm already tired of just doing the same thing over and over again. So I'm just gonna chill. I mean, it is worth it if you know how to clear it. If you know how to clear the bunker efficiently, it is totally worth it. I always come out with, I probably spend 30% of what I get back. So yeah, I mean, once you know how to do it, it's just, I mean, it's whatever. But once again, repetitiveness, that's the thing that I don't like about it.
Yeah, and there's no telling how many times you've done bunker at this point, you know. Probably in the hundreds. So, let's see. Worst moment in LDOE. Personal stories, example. Alright, so worst moment, I honestly, my biggest my worst moments are when I'm falling asleep at night and I'm sitting here playing the game and I drop the phone on my face. That's the worst for me. Sitting there grinding, trying to get trees or something. It's probably on auto and running around and yeah, drop the phone on my face. It hurts and I don't appreciate it. But as far as like actual in game, I mean, anytime I run into the big one and I'm in the zone or I've got, you know, a lot of oak or something like that going and I don't want to have to ditch it and leave, that's always frustrating. Excuse me. But I don't really have a bad moment other than the days that I wake up and I see an argument on the Facebook page. I mean, that happens. People get angry, upset about silly things, and that's probably my most frustrating thing about the whole game. It's not even in the game itself. But do you have a moment that you would describe as your worst time?
Yeah, rating is
okay.
one of those things that you're like, I mean, you know, I get the difficulty level, you know, you're like, hey, I'm like, you're spending a lot of time I mean, there's so many tasks that you have to do. If you're a pro player, you're gonna complete the task within a day, depending on what kind of tasks you get. If you get like airdrops or what's the other dealer trades and stuff like that, then it's gonna take you a little bit longer, and let's just skip it with coins. But other than that, you know, clearing 25 boxes or killing 15 abominations or killing the blind one or all that good stuff, I mean, it's just, those things are easy. If you're a pro player, you're gonna get those things done within a couple hours. But you know, you spend that time to actually grind the game to get something that you think it's gonna be good, or it's something that allows you to have a little bit of fun, something that is completely different from bunker farm. It's you breaking into someone's space that you don't even know, and you're hoping to get something good. But when the base happens to be a 2x2 level 1 walls with one chest that has literally garbage, that's when you have a problem. That can be very frustrating. I might have exaggerated a little bit, but to a certain extent, that's where it boils down to. Because I remember raids when I started doing them. They were nothing like the way they are actually right now. They were so different. I mean, they actually rewarded the player for doing those tasks. I'm not saying to take everything, because you can't take everything. They made it clear, whatever you can fit on your backpack, hey, take it. But other than that, I mean, I just don't understand, why would they give us crappy bases you can literally just completely break into, search every chest, and you're probably gonna get one thing that actually makes sense in the base. Other than that, you're like, I wasted all my time for nothing. Legit nothing.
I'll have to say, because yeah, that brings up a good point. What the other night when I was raiding, and I mean, I juked that big one like, you know, it was football, and I was getting around, you know, with the ball. But he came in, and I had what, just carrots, wasn't it? That's all I got from that raid. Pretty much was just carrots. It was total junk and very disappointing. I think when raids first got released, they had way too many modded bases in there, in the mix, and they didn't check them before releasing the update, before adding multiplayer. They didn't check the bases that they put in queue, and I think they messed up because people got used to the amazing loot, and now that they have actual legit bases in there and fewer modded bases, people are getting upset. But I think that whether or not, you know, mod or not, I think they really need to do a set of, you know, these bases are good for players between this level and this level, and then once you get to the point that you have, you know, a level 99 character, maybe those are the people that should get the bases that have a bunch of weapons in them or a bunch of armor and stuff like that. I just don't think they do a very good job of picking and choosing, you know, what you get to raid, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Yeah, they kind of spoiled us at the beginning, and then they're like, you know what, nah, we're not gonna keep doing this, so we're gonna take all of this away from you. It just, like, it didn't make sense. It kind of broke the game, or at least that's what it seems like, because we were so used to getting good bases. I know, you know, clear data, we're going back to it, had to do a lot with it. I mean, a lot of players were getting rich off of it, and they still are. You can, there's a way to reset the base over and over again, to your advantage. So having those things implemented, I mean, for those people that know how to do it, they're really capitalizing on it. But for those honest players, or players that don't know about, you know, how to clear and reset bases, it's a challenge. You know, I used to clear data quite a bit, I'm not gonna lie. Everybody has done it at one point or another.
Not this guy.
Even if you don't think you've done it in the past, you going from your phone to your computer, it's a form of clearing data. Even if you didn't,
Okay.
Yes,
okay, I'll give you that. Yeah,
it
because you're in a different area. I'll give you that. It's not intentional, but yeah, that's
yeah, exactly. Even if, like, that's what I'm saying. Even if it's not intentional, I mean, you have done it to a certain extent. And there are those who do it on purpose. So So that's what I mean. If you are very familiar in how to do it and how to do it properly without losing your account, though you're still running at risk, because if something goes wrong, you know, once again, Kafir's not gonna help you. I'm almost positive that they're not. But if they do, I mean, I'll be a little shocked about that, especially after so many attempts of them telling us that, hey, we're you know, we're done doing this, or you shouldn't do this because of this and that. So I'm just saying they need to be able to give us good base, especially if you have a reputation as high as some of these players. You know, I was grinding for the level for reputation 200 with the raiders, but as soon as the raids became crap, I stopped. I mean, there was no point in keep you know doing anything with the raids, because I was getting crap bases. And I'm not gonna sit there and just reset every single one of them until I find one that I like. I mean, that defeats the whole purpose of the game.
Yeah, well, and like what you said, there's really no benefit to getting a high reputation with those raiders at this point. And maybe at that point, better bases is the answer, because they have to know what they're throwing out there. You know, it's a list, it's a set list, and you just get one of them from the list. You can't tell me that they can't dedicate the manpower to inspecting those before they let people start raiding them, to make sure that they're going to be within, you know, the parameters of not being hacked or modded, and that they're going to be worth something. You know, like you said before, like a 3x3 with 2 boxes and nothing in there. They can stop that. There has to be a way that they can stop that without putting too much effort into it. And I think that they could also add it to where, you know, the higher your, you know, maybe not at the player level, but your reputation with the raiders, the higher that is, maybe that's what determines what kind of a base you get. If it's going to be total trash or if it's going to be decent, you know, something's got to give, because people are quitting because of the raids.
Correct.
Right. So, looks like Fabio's guilty in the chat. He's used the clear data before, it looks like. And like, you know, like we said in the beginning, clear data, to each is her own. You know, it's whatever. We're not gonna knock it, you know, too much. And you said something about, you know, here we go back to the clear data. Well, that's the big topic right now. That's what everybody's talking about. They're arguing about it, and it's a big thing on especially on the group page. Let's see.
Yeah, we talked about that, Wayne. Carbon composite. We talked about things that are, you know, the resources that it takes for modifications. It's just insane. I was telling Dennis that, you know, you gotta grind for the blueprint, and you gotta grind for one specific resource, and then you gotta grind for a different specific resource. I mean, if you're not a player, I don't want to call you a casual, because you got to be a hardcore player. You're gonna get on every hour, every single time that a recycler goes out. You're in there putting another weapon in. I mean, that takes what do you call it? Conviction, just about, to be able to do that. I mean, I'm not gonna sit there and just put a gun in every hour, man.
No, they should be able to stack that too.
You know, it would be kind of good for Kafir to implement a form of being able to do it with one tap. Let's say you get a notification, hey, your recycler is done. Would you like to add another gun? And just randomly select like a gun that you have. I don't know. Somehow make it to where you can actually use that gun for something, or, you know, to choose a specific gun, to put them in a specific slot, and it'll just automatically add it to your recycler. That would be kind of cool. I'm sure they'll never do that, but that would be great. You know, that'll save us from having to open the game and all that. I mean, it takes how long does it take for the game to open? About a minute, you would say?
Yeah, and it's gonna get worse. I mean, let's be honest, it's gonna get worse before it gets better.
Correct.
So, but no, I agree with you, and you can't just always stop to just put something on the recycler and then go about your day afterwards. It takes time to do that. Even if they had like a because you're talking about like a bin to put a random, you know, thing in there. Well, not even that. If they had part of the recycler, just 8 slots where you could put items or stack items to get recycled next. You know, even that would be cool. It might be too much, but you know, it'd be cool. So,
yeah.
we don't have too much left on this list. Let's see. Ask the devs. I wish we could do that. I wish we could get a developer or 2 on here. That would be awesome. But that just means that everybody's gonna have to share this thing and get more people to watch it. So, you know, you guys do your job, and maybe we can make that happen one day. 150K celebration in the group. So coming up, we're gonna be seeing. We're getting closer and closer to getting 150,000 people. We made 100,000 pretty big, and once we get to 150, I really would like to make that even bigger and blow 100,000 out of the water. But we have to get there. We're at 134,000 right now, which is insane. I never thought we'd get to this point. When I first started, we were only 325 members, 350 when I became a moderator. And then here we are now. So I mean, it's come a long ways, and I mean, I think we could do a lot more than what we've got going on right now. So that's thanks to everybody. That is not, you know, that is the admin team, the moderator team, the members. That is thanks to everybody that's put time into this, and I really do appreciate everything. Except for Wayne. I don't really appreciate Wayne all that much, but you know, whatever. Let's see. Then I think we've got one last thing before we go to like a question section, but getting copper without northern zone skill, specifically why, oh, well that's, so Laura helped type these notes, and she puts in parentheses, specifically why won't Kafir just give me the skill, gosh darn it. So, I'm struggling right now. My big struggle currently, and bring, you know, makes this a good thing to talk about for me, is I don't have any copper bars, and going to the northern zones is just brutal. It takes so much to go up there and farm. I know one of my moderators, Fern, recently in our group chat, and I think she posted it on the page, she had a bunch of info on it that I still need to go over and see. But do you have a secret to how you farm for copper? Do you not farm for copper? Like, how do you get steel, essentially, I guess is what I'm asking here, because I need some advice on that.
I used to farm for copper, and I used to do it efficiently. I would go up to the I would do it when I had every time that I had the 25 chests from red areas, or red zones, or red locations, whatever you want to call them, from the Raiders tasks, I would just use that to an advantage. It's a possibility to be able to get all 25 chests from the winter area without getting seen, so I wouldn't waste any weapons. And also, there's a possibility in getting copper while you're up there. So I would knock 2 things out of you know, at the same time. So I mean, that was how I used to do it. But when the recycler was introduced, I mean, I was having way too much copper. I still have way too much copper that I know what to do with. There's several things that, like, for example, even raiding, and I mean, up to this point, I still have lots of copper, so I stopped farming. I stopped farming, and I still haven't ran out of them. I'm sure if I raided more, if I did more in the game, if I crafted like level 4 walls and stuff like that, I would probably run out of copper like really quickly. But since I'm not really playing the game like I used to, I mean, I'm not to that point. But even when I was playing the game, you know, even when I was playing the game like every single day, the recycler was giving back so much. I know they nerfed that because they changed a few recipes or a few things that some particular items used to give back copper, now they don't. So I'm not entirely sure how it's working now. All I know is that I have a lot of copper from the recycler and raids, and even floppy disks, because I used to do floppy disk every 2 days. So I mean, I would get steel and copper every 2 days. I would get lots of it, 10, 20. I mean, already. And the copper that I'm talking about is actually copper bars. It wasn't just the raw copper material. So I actually still have lots of that I need to smelt, but I'm not gonna do it because, like I said, I haven't run out of copper yet. So I stopped farming the winter zones. If you are a new player, or like a player that doesn't have the northern zones open or anything like that, you should be able to get it out of the recycler or raids. Even floppy disks, I'm sure that there's a possibility to get it without even having to go up there, because I haven't visited the frozen or northern zones in so long. I mean, it's been so freaking long, it's not even funny.
Well, I just did it the other day during a stream, and it was rough. It definitely used a lot of my resources, but and then again, I'm not the best player in the world. I have fun with it more than anything, especially during my streams. I like to just, oh my gosh, like just now I died. I wasn't paying attention, pressed the wrong button. Anyways, I like to have fun more than anything, and I find myself messing up, making stupid mistakes. But that northern zone, it really took a lot out of me to go up there and try to get like 5 copper ore that I then had to smelt into copper bars, and then smelt that into the steel bars, and then make that into steel plate. It's a process. So I might have to start looking into doing the whatchamacallit.
He died. You knew it.
I did.
That's funny.
I did. I'm so mad at myself right now too, because I meant to crouch and sneak up on a frenzy giant, and instead I used a carrot and then crawl. Or no, I switched weapons, I think. So that was kind of stupid, but it is what it is. So I think that brings us to the end of what we have written down, and I guess kind of want to go over questions that people have in the chat, like the people that are still here with us. We've got a couple people watching. They've been talking, and I guess just what questions do you guys have that we might be able to answer for you? And while you guys think of that, give me just a second again. I'll be right back. Alright. I'm back. Yeah. Batteries. Batteries would be best for that. Let's see. And can you see the chat too, or is it just me like can see the chat?
Yep. Yeah,
okay.
I see it.
I didn't know if I'd have to read them off to you when they start asking things. Oh, what are you doing on your game right now?
I'm just farming. That's all I'm doing.
For copper?
Yeah. Nah, I'm on my military pass account.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, and some of the tasks are getting a little complicated. I mean, they're not hard, it's just that I gotta have the right resources, and I don't have them, so I'm farming a little bit for the resources, and then I'm gonna call it a night. I gotta edit a few things.
Is that what you're gonna do after this? Some video editing?
Yeah, more than likely. I've been trying to do it for the longest. It's just that I keep falling asleep.
Oh, it looks like Fabio left us a little bit ago. So good night to Fabio.
Yeah, yeah, he did.
How about how us long-term players who have maxed out the specialist get punished by not getting the silencers mods that he gives now? Instead, we get nothing. I can't speak to that because I have not maxed him out. Not even close. Do you know?
Who are we talking about?
Scroll up. It's actually Brian asked that.
Yeah. No, I know what he meant. It's by the the specialist at the bunker. You know that. Remember how you used to get weapons, right? I think after a certain level of when you clear the
Oh,
hard mode and all that, you used to get weapons and stuff like that.
yeah.
People get blueprints, I think, not mods, but blueprints, if I'm not mistaken. Is that what you're asking, Brian? I'm not sure if that's what you're asking.
Let's see what he has to say. Yeah, because they do give the, you put your little blueprints in there and they get more.
Yeah, that's what he was talking about. Yeah, I thought so. You know, I was gonna talk about other stuff, but I don't have my well, I do have it, but it's I'm not streaming. I was gonna talk about the police station. I have, you know, I have the
right.
I have like all the information set up on my OBS, and I had it in some of the files, and I had a few edits that I created for that specific topic. But we can talk about it some other time. I hope we don't talk about it kind of late, because you know the information just came out about it. So
yeah, well,
so,
before
yeah.
we can touch on that and kind of and
yeah,
know,
but we don't have anything to show though. Yeah, but we don't have the pictures, because the only thing that we can go by is the pictures. We don't have any information about them.
That's true.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I don't have the pictures.
We don't have no we have no context. We have nothing. So, but anyway, yeah. So.
Well, there was a question up here that I need to get back to from Heartless just a second ago, but I do want to say my opinion on, you know, again, no details. All we've seen is the pictures. That's all that's been released. I think that it's going to be a place that we see a little bit more guns, more gun drops, and I mean, because it's a police station, how can it not have gun drops? You know, and that's going to help people that I think they're trying to appease some of the people that have been upset a little bit for it being too hard, if that makes sense. And that's why we saw the convoy, which gave out a bunch of stuff that was really nice. I just get that feeling from what we've been seeing lately, and so that's kind of what makes me think that we're going to see a spot that we can get a lot of guns. But I may be wrong.
I mean, I highly doubt it. I think it's gonna be like the farm. I think it's gonna be balanced. It's gonna be well balanced. We're gonna be able to get certain specific modifications, just like in farm. You get modifications for melee weapons, but you don't particularly get melee weapons unless you actually kill the raiders. So I don't think we're gonna see any. I don't think they're gonna give away stuff. If that's what you're saying, I don't think they're gonna give away.
Not give away, but you know,
but
I think they're gonna give us the opportunity to earn them, to fight for them.
I don't see it happening. I know it's gonna be balanced. We're gonna get a few weapons here and there, like the Winchester. It's gonna be a drop, so it'll be just another weapon that we don't have. And if you're a collector, more than likely you're gonna want to clear the police station for it. And maybe some of the other newer weapons that they're going to be adding to the game, you're probably going to be able to find them there, but I don't think we're going to be coming back with more loot than what we already spent. We'll be able to get like iconic items. I can see that happening, but I can't see anything else coming out of that. Just like the farm is well balanced. You don't get incredibly, like, you don't get a lot of loot. You get enough loot. And you get things that you don't normally have, you know, like energy drinks. You don't get that anywhere else. You don't get the scythe anywhere else. Puppies. I mean, so it's just things that you wouldn't normally get anywhere else. I think that's the whole purpose of them releasing new locations. Because in that case, why release new locations if we're gonna get things that we already get at other places? You feel?
Yeah, no, I'm with you. No, I guess we'll just have to see what happens there. The farm sucks. I disagree. I like the farm a lot. I die a lot in it, but I like it. I don't die when I'm not playing online though, and streaming, so you'll just have to take
he's
my
lying.
word for that.
He's lying, guys.
Lying.
No, he's
You're
lying.
a
He's
jerk.
lying. He dies every single time.
So, Heartless asked, is it fair to give players free stuff such as Star Snipe, but can't give people the stuff they lost due to the bug? So, I can't speak for what happens with other YouTubers and other people. I don't know what they get, what they don't get. As far as if there's a glitch and an issue happens, I think, yeah, they should give that stuff back. The issue being, if it's hard, I guess, for them to know what was truly lost from a glitch, and you know, oh crap, give me just a second, I'm sitting here fighting with my bare hand real quick. You know, what was actually a glitch and what was proving that it was a glitch, I guess, is going to be the issue there, depending on what the situation is.
Wayne sounds like every other chopper tank gaslit. No, chopper tank. No, I can't even talk today. Any tankless chopper tankless.
Wayne is far from tankless. I promise you, Wayne has definitely gotten the tank, and he
no, but he sounds just. He sounds like every single one of them that says, I never get the tank, I never get the barn to open. Like, bro, it has opened. Like, I've done the farm so many times, dude. I think the farm hasn't opened to me, like, for me, at least once. Once I didn't open for me.
Well,
other than that, every single day, every single time, man.
Wayne has the worst luck. I say this because Wayne's one of our moderators. He has the worst luck with the blind one going into the wall. Even after they said, oh yeah, we fixed it, everything's fine. And they gave him a bunch of stuff the first time he reported it. But it keeps happening to him over and over and over again. And every time he gets on the admin chat and just rages out. Like, I'm pretty sure one day he's going to just throw his phone and rage quit. I'm just waiting for that day. But he has, as far as glitches are concerned, he has the worst luck. He has definitely some issues. For whatever reason, the game just hates him.
Dennis is a pro.
No.
At dying. At dying. He legit dies. Every time that I bet on it, I win.
Well, it's because it's a sure thing. I mean, it's gonna happen. I don't leave. You know, some people are cowards and they like leave the area so that it resets and they can go back in there. I don't do that. If I get screwed in a pinch, I mean, the other day when I was running around,
how is staying alive being a coward? How is staying alive being a coward?
Oh
no. Staying alive is not being a coward. It's actually outsmarting the situation. Thank you very much. I rest my case.
Okay. But loves my money. That's true too. Oh man, that's funny. Well, you know what? You think what you want to think, and we'll let everybody else think what they want to think, which they all agree with me. So.
Type Excal in chat if you agree with me.
Oh.
Type Excal if you agree with me. Right now, do it.
We'll see what people have to say. We will see. I think it's cowardly. I don't know how long it's going to take for them to hear us say that, so I hate this delay. It is, it makes it hard. You know what? Forget you guys. Wait.
Nobody wants to see. Nobody wants to see that revive button on the screen. Man, get out of here with that.
We didn't give them an option to vote for me though. We're just like, if you agree with Excal. So like, what, 3 people see Heartless Gamer says Dennis, but what, 3 people agreed with you? That means that there's 6 that are agreeing with me because they didn't say anything, right? So
no, that's not how it works.
That's not how it works.
That's not how it works. No.
It can if I wanted to. It's my street. No.
Then it's one. Yeah. Okay. You want to get into that subject?
No,
we can get into that subject real quick. Like,
totally your idea.
Hey Brian. Hey Brian. He wants to get into that subject real quick.
No.
Should we?
Dennis is garbage. Go Excal. I'm done. I'm done with you people. Oh my gosh. Oh.
I didn't go to that extent to say it's garbage, but hey.
Hey, I mean, it is what it is.
Hey, if your moderators think that, I mean, I can't change their mind. You know, they know you more than I do. So.
They're all a bunch of jerks, anyways, so they don't really matter. Oh, I'm gonna lose the moderators because of that. I doubt it. They're all pretty cool. I enjoy the heck out of them.
Oh,
they
okay,
have a lot of fun.
yeah.
Until they talk about PUBG in the moderator chat, and then I just mute it. Oh man. Well, what else has anybody got? I feel like we're getting off easy at this point. Hopefully I won't die again before the end of this. I'm not a moderator, just stream mod. He's part of the stream team. How about that PUBG? Forget PUBG, dude. I wish I had it for PC though. I'd play the heck out of it. If my computer
you can.
handle it.
Oh yeah, never mind. You can't.
No. The answer to your question, Brian, is no. No. Chopper, tank, and fork. Anyway, sorry, I saw something pop up in the chat. Anyways, trash. This is garbage. Oh man, well, Wayne is trash though, so that works out. Most likely place to find the chopper, tank, and the fork. So the fork will spawn in the orange or yellow, sorry, the yellow and red box inside of the bunker, and the tank will show up in the red box in the bunker and also at the farm. Or you can get it in, which pack is it that you can get it in? It's really, really low chance, so I would not advise going this route. Where is it? Transport. You can get it in the mechanics pack, which is $1 each, so that's not a bad price for it, but the chances of getting it are not there. So... Wayne, you're gonna get booted. That's all I've got to say. Oh, I'm glad Heartless has my back, by the way. The rest of you guys suck. Price for how much was the military pass for you when you did it, Excal? Still there with me?
Yeah. It's $5.
$5, okay, because I've seen pictures of it being $10 and I don't know where those are coming from.
I think, well, you know, there was a guy that posted a screenshot in one of the discords, and it was Romanian money or currency, Romanian currency, and it was I looked it up on Google, and the amount that he had was the equivalent of I want to say $6, $6 or $7.
Well, I've seen like straight up a screenshot of the U.S. dollars for it, and it be $10,
well,
$9.99.
you have to think of but you have to think of where is that coming from, which location, because America is not the only place that uses U.S. dollars as a currency.
Well, that's dumb. No. I didn't know that. He fell asleep. Why don't us better place? So, I'm not to say, I'm not going to say that we won't or that we are, but I'm willing to bet that the veteran players are going to get something in the near future, like the military pass, maybe with the ATV. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I don't know if that's true or not, but. They've got to think about us.
Only because I said, see, Dennis likes to steal everything. All my ideas, he likes to steal them.
I didn't know that was your idea.
I said that on one of the, I can't remember who I responded to on that, and now, and here he is trying to take it.
Well, I'm just trying to steal your thunder. Like, Like this stream, this was your idea, and here we are doing it on the community channel.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding, man. I'm kidding. See, they don't know that. You're the one bringing it up. I'm just messing with you.
I'm just saying
it's an inside thing.
No, I'm
and
saying
you're making it an outside thing.
No, I'm just saying it was a great idea, and I'm having a good time. So I'm glad you thought of it. But let's see, what else we got? USA. All right, America, because why not? What else we got? Anybody else got any more questions?
You're cutting up for me. Hello? Yeah, there you are.
I don't know why I'm a dirty little garbage thief, but alright, that's fine. I'll take it. Let's see what else we got. If there's anything else. I'd like for these to get big though. And if we could eventually get someone from Kafir on there, that would be freaking awesome. I know we're like a long ways from that, but you know what? I've learned to dream big with this, like especially with this group. Never thought it'd be this big. Never thought I'd be talking to Kafir or any game developers ever in my life. And so dream big, I guess, right?
They felt sorry for him.
That's what it is. They feel sorry for me. They don't really love me. Catch me outside. What do you think of clans? How will it work? I think as far as clans are concerned, I think it's hard to tell what they're going to come out with because they've said so much. They've promised so many different things. I don't know. I know from what I've seen and heard and what I believe is we're going to get areas or zones that we can go to drop items off and build a base together. And I think it's supposed to be underground, which they at one time told us that we would never have multiple floors. So I don't think it's like a tiered thing. I think it's just going to be a bunker type deal. But that's all I can say. I can't tell how big they're going to be because they haven't really touched on that I've seen. I don't have much beyond that. Do you have anything that you've seen in particular?
What, clans? Nah, they haven't really said much. Besides the roadmap, the Kafir actually teased. I'm gonna say teased because they're not. I mean, they're doing some of it, but some of it is like they're the way that they're following it is so weird. I mean, it was just a. I mean, they haven't really like gave the specifications. I know that Cloud did give some information about it, but the information that they give on Discord, it changes so freaking much. So I mean, I don't know what to go by, to be honest.
Well, and it's funny you said that because a lot of people on the page will ask, you know, hey, when's the update coming out? I've learned at this point that things happen, and it's normal for programmers to have issues in their coding. You know, that's gonna happen. For us to say that it's going to be a certain day or date or whatever, even if they've said that it's going to be, you know, Monday we're releasing blah blah blah, there's still that chance that it's not coming out because they're going to find some big issue. I mean, it's as simple as even now, what, the Ravager still gets stuck on the bridge in the farm or something like that, doesn't he? Or is that fixed now?
I don't know. I've never used that glitch. I mean, I heard a lot of people talking about it, but personally, I never used it, so.
So, one, how they found that out and let the Ravager get that far is beyond me. And two, how that made it into production is kind of weird too. But, you know, it is what it is. Best I can tell you, I have the link to the Facebook community on your channel. Wait, what? I need to go up a little bit in the chat here real quick. Think of clans. So, yeah, that's kind of clans there. By swimming through the... Yes, I swung through the fence, and... Wayne, I am not adding anyone in clan chat. Let me see, I've got... nobody. I have no friends. No friends at all. And it's because they limit us to 5. I don't like that they limit it to 5. I understand, you know, server loads and stuff like that, internet loads, but I'm not adding anybody until they expand that just a little bit. And then I will give you a spot on that list. Jeez. Oh, now I read the part
He's
where
lying.
he's just messing with me. I
He's
got it.
lying. He's lying.
After all that,
guys.
you made me go through all that just to say I'm just messing with him. I appreciate that. Oh my gosh. All right. See a lot of that comment. So, all right. It is getting late here, so I'm gonna ask. I guess we got 3 more minutes till midnight here. That's 1 o'clock for Excal, 1 a.m. in the morning. So he is a trooper sticking with us. Anybody else have any more questions or things they want us to talk about? It's funny looking at the chat and they're like laughing, and I have no idea what they're laughing at because it's so delayed. I don't think I'll ever get over the delay. Always whine about it. It's early for me. Yeah, I think it's what, 10 o'clock where you're at, Wayne? Something like that. I don't know that for sure. Oh, it's 1 a.m. there? Oh yeah, he does do security, that's right. No, 0100. Yeah. That's 1 o'clock.
Alright. I'm gonna, you know, step out.
You're gonna scoot? Alright.
Well,
hey.
Yeah.
I appreciate you joining us. And, you get
no
your
problem.
stuff done. Don't fall asleep this time.
I'm probably gonna, I'm so tired right now.
Well, hey,
I am.
I do appreciate you doing this, Excal, and being here with us, and I hope you had a good time.
I did. I'll catch y'all later, though.
Alright, you have a good
Hit me
night,
up.
sir.
Peace. Alright, man.
Alright, he is out of the party, so now we can talk bad about him. But no, really, guys, if you haven't checked out his stuff, he has a great thing going. I think I linked his channel in the chat here. Let me make sure. Yes, I put his Twitch and his YouTube channel on there. So check it out sometime. He's got a lot going on, a lot of good stuff. And he has taught me everything I know so far because I'm too lazy and don't have enough time to do the research myself. So if there is nobody else with a question, I will probably also call it a night. But you guys have 1 more minute, so bring on the questions. We go get the items down here. Alright, see you, Heartless. Andrew, I think. Yeah. Good night. Have fun. Thanks for being here. He taught me, but I didn't learn. That's true. I'm pretty much awful at this. But I enjoy it. I really enjoy it a lot. Now if I can teach my son this stuff. Fastest way. Hey, send me the video, and if you want, Heartless, if you're okay with it, and I may throw a little intro on it and throw it up on the channel, if that's okay with you. Because we don't have a video for that yet. I'm going to start working on tutorial videos. It's just editing videos is, Excal can tell you it's involved, especially the work he does. It's pretty intense. But yeah, I need to start getting some tutorials up there and updating some things. A video tomorrow. Hey, don't rush it. And if you're okay with me using it, I would love to put it on here. And if I use your video, if you have a YouTube channel that you use and upload stuff to, I'll put it in the notes. I'll tag it. That's not a problem at all. Excal is supposed to be gone. He's still over here trashing me. Oh, you know what, Excal? You know what? Right there, buddy. Right there. Ah. That's for you. For you. Get out of here. Oh man. I can't believe that. Anyways. Now you guys see it. It can't be unseen. Just so you know. Oh my gosh. Oh man. Go back to the bunker. What happened? I'm just looking at chat. Oh, you'll have to watch the video because oh, anyways, it's midnight. I've got to get up in about 5 hours, get the family ready for school, and get ready for work myself. So, I've been sitting in this chair a long time, Wayne. It happens. Oh man, I don't even know what Red Stalker said, but I'm sure it's welcome to the chat. Let me see what that means. I'm using Google Translate here. Translate. Oh man, it does not do a very good job of translating. When Abnova. Yeah, I don't know what that means. You probably just like the video. Which, anyone watching, if you guys have content, you know, it takes a lot to get the videos, and I don't necessarily have the time all the time. And this channel is not just for me to tinker around. This is to feature you guys, to feature the work of the community and the group. If you guys ever have something that you want on the channel, or if we're ever looking for footage, or we don't have something, let us know. Let me know. I'd love to get, you know, you guys featured too. It's not just about me. It's not just about, you know, the admins, the mods. It's about the community. Without the members, this is nothing. We have nothing. And that's the whole idea behind this channel. It wasn't for me to sit here and stream every other night or couple nights, you know, even though I do enjoy that, and I'm going to continue to do that as much as I can. It's more to feature our members and to give them exposure and to get them out there and you know, let them be part of what this is. So if you ever have something you want to show or think would be useful for it, let me know. And we may not take everything, but I definitely want to feature as much as we can from you guys and not just what we do. So enemies underage pursuit. I'm like, make it. No, that Excal, you should know better. You should know better. Oh man. But it's true. I mean, yeah, it's true. Oh, I'm gonna die of thirst and hunger. Oh man. Why you gotta give me a hard time? Ooh, wait, food. Food, take. A highlight video. I hit every death. Do some editing, boy. Editing takes so long. Oh. Let's see, I am almost done. I'm gonna give it till I am done scooping up all my stuff from the bunker here on this floor. Oh, I got it without getting hit. And then I'm gonna call it a night. But I'm definitely here to have a good time until it's time to roll. You know what? We were talking about useless things. Not this room, but in the very beginning of this floor, there's that little room off to the left. That's probably one of the most useless things that we could do without. You can't even go in there. It's just blocked. And they still haven't added anything to put in there. How long has the bunker been out? Forever. It's been there the whole time. They've never thrown anything in there. It's dumb. I'll call it morning on not night. Well, it is morning now, I guess, isn't it? Oh my gosh. Why did my character keep going? Let's see. Arrgh. Trash. Garbage. And get rid of that. I'm at work. Listen, I used to be a security guard for a little bit, and when I say security guard, it was basically me checking for fire hazards, because the college that I worked at, the alarm system didn't work properly, or sprinkle system. Anyways, looked for fire hazards, and then my job was to pull the alarm if there was a fire, and then get out of the building. I slept so much on the job. I took naps in the Humvees at the ROTC section. I slept in closets. I slept all over. Had keys to every building on campus, though. It was awesome. Getting in the library at night, that was wild. Scary, but wild. So, but anyways, so alright, I've cleared the bunker. I appreciate everybody that came out here. Without you guys watching, this would be happening. So I appreciate it. I had a good time, and I'm glad nobody did anything crazy in the chat today. Maybe one person did, but you know, it is what it is, and I appreciate everybody, and I'll see you guys next time.